What's going on, everybody? Oh, looks like microphone's going to be a little loud today, so let's turn that down slightly. Okay, mic check, 1, 2. Looks like everything's working correctly. Howdy, everybody. Hopefully everybody's having a wonderful day today. It is been a hot minute since I've been online, or made a video for that matter, but I just want to come in, want to chat, hang out a little bit today, see how things are going with everybody. I don't really have anything on the agenda besides to clean this up because it is a hot mess disaster. Kind of go over a little bit about what I've been doing, what's going on, like life updates, those kind of things. Yeah. So hopefully you all have had a good holiday for the July 4th. My day was pretty good yesterday, actually. So, first things first, don't think you've seen anything because I've not really recorded anything. Kiddo got a mini bike for after graduation and decided to try to convert it to electric start, and it turned into a disaster, so I used the CNC routing table, which is directly behind me, for a mini bike stand, and it was on there for like a month. So a lot of the stuff that's on here is just leftover disasterness from when that project happened. So I just threw all the tools back on the workbench, never really put them away. So that's the big project, and then the other one is a solar panel project for the chicken coop. So that has been a success so far, and the solar panel's feeding like a 10-inch car fan, radiator fan, basically, that's hooked up to a electronic thermostat that I 3D printed a housing for, which is what this is. This is the template to check to make sure stuff fits. So it's been installed and functioning now for well over a month. Temperatures here in Southwest Ohio hit scorcher high heats with humidity well over 100 plus degrees. The birds seem like they're doing okay. The fan's still running, working good. I don't think that'll be an issue. That's to get through the summer. I have a heater project, which is on the workbench up there behind the camera. I started it. Not done anything on camera with it, but one of these days I will get over to doing that live, probably. You can see the computer monitor. My LED light strip has fallen off of it multiple times. It doesn't stay on. That's probably going to get ripped out at some point. I'm just too lazy. Yeah. So that's kind of a little bit about what's going on. So first things, like I said, first things first is just getting What's going on? So, the first thing is just getting all of this cleaned up, getting stuff organized, getting stuff put away, try to get my workbench cleared off. Again, it seems like this is a never-ending problem that I have, just because the rest of my garage is a disaster, so stuff just gets tossed over here. So, yeah. So that's kind of where we're at. That's what we're going to be dealing with. I'm in no hurry today, so I may just sit here and do nothing and procrastinate for an hour. Depends on who shows up, who chats. The more you guys talk, the more I'm prone to just sitting here and just having conversations with you guys. I do need to work on the pull truck again at some point and finish the design and printing of the electronics tray for the front of that. I do need to paint that body as well at some point. I keep procrastinating. If I do this long enough, I'm probably going to end up losing the film for the windows for that body, which I'm shocked I already haven't. If I already haven't lost them, I just don't know it, which is a high probability, actually. So yeah, I guess I'm going to stop procrastinating, and let's start putting some of this stuff away. So I have my totes underneath this that I have somewhat organized into what goes where. Oh, go in there. The remote can stay because that's for the air conditioner. You probably hear the AC running in the background. I'm going to apologize and say I'm sorry, but I'm really not, because without it, I probably wouldn't be out here, honestly. They're basically, I can't do anything about it. This needs to go in the toolbox. Let's see what screwdrivers I have out here and see what can stay and what can get put up. So, big screwdrivers can get put up. Those will go. That'll go. That can go. That one can go. That one can probably stay. That can go. Pry bar can go. That can go. Those can stay. That can stay. That'll stay. That'll stay. That'll go. That'll go. Yes, this is everything I used to work on the stupid mini bike. I mean, don't take it wrong. It's not stupid. It's just I get more aggravated because the kid decides that he's going to do something, and I don't fault him for it, but he has no clue how to do it. And then, actually, you know what? We're gonna design and print a cap for this. I'm tired of fighting this caliper and having missing a cap for that battery. Back to my rant. He has no clue what he's doing with 12 volts, and can grasp the concept. And I try helping him and teaching him, like, connectors. So, for example, like butt connectors, male and female, or splice connectors that are soldered with the inside. So these just do with, like, heat. These are amazing, by the way. If you don't know anything about them, check them out. But they are heat-driven, heat shrink on both ends, and solder on the inside. So you don't need a soldering gun to solder wires together. These actually work really, 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 really well, and I would almost call this a permanent fix. So these are awesome. Need to get more of them, actually. Drill bits can get put up. Thinking, is there anything else on this workbench that can go in my regular toolbox? Which, by the way, I need to buy a new toolbox because it's a disaster. If anybody wants to buy me a 56-inch Harbor Freight toolbox, I would greatly appreciate it. I mean, I'll be like super appreciative, actually. Gear wrench, that's mine. That can get put up. Solder. I think the rest of this stays. So I'm going to go move this over here. It was the mini bike project was a fun project for me because it helped me try to, what's the word? I enjoy the challenge of building, especially anything from scratch like that, because it was a kit, but it was a kit designed for a different motor, so it didn't really function correctly. I don't know how else to word it. So it required to think outside of a box for a lot of it. Basically, a lot of trial and error, a lot of testing of parts to try to figure out what works, what doesn't work. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. I think he absolutely hated it. Whatever. And it was his project, but he didn't do anything. He did the mechanical portion of it, which was an hour's worth of work. The rest of it was me, because he wouldn't listen or stay long enough to listen. All these get put up over here. He did end up finally supposedly fixing it after we did get it running. Long story short, I had issues with it not charging correctly. 12 volts on a 6.5 horsepower Honda motor, just they don't go well. Basically, they don't put out enough power. I don't know if it's power. I don't know how to word it. The way I understand it is it's an RPM issue, along with weak magnets on the flywheel, which doesn't generate enough 120 volt current for the voltage rectifier. I'm trying to use the correct terms here, so I apologize if I'm not. But it rectifies the 120 volts to 12 volts. But when it does it, the stock unit was only outputting like 6 volts, which is not great, might I add. It's enough to run the machine perfectly fine and dandy, but the headlight, it only came with the headlight. It was called a running light. It really I wouldn't call it a headlight. It was a disaster. It was so dim you probably couldn't see 4 foot in front of you. Like it was a complete waste. So that's what started this whole project. It snowballed into a bigger issue, which then turned into a bigger issue, which is why I kept fighting all the problems that I did. So, whatever. But long story short, put a new charging coil in it that was designed for 6 amps, 12 volts, I think it was. And at real life testing, it was only outputting like 10.5 volts at idle and full throttle. So that was the biggest problem. So then I had to put in a buck converter to change the so it's a 8 volt to a 40 volt input, and it outputs 13.8 volts, a consistent flat 13.8. Basically, long story short, we had to figure out a way to get the mini bike to charge a battery that we installed on the mini bike, so that way when he uses the electric start or the headlights, whatever, it's not killing the battery. Basically, it can recharge itself. It'll act like an alternator to a car. Sure, it didn't really function real well, so bought the voltage buck converter to increase the voltage to a flat 13.8. That fixed the issue. He ran it for a day or two, ran it in the rain, and then killed that voltage that buck converter I would assume because it wasn't sealed up, or it's because I didn't or it's possibly because I didn't put a what's the word I'm looking for? I want to call it a capacitor. It's one way it prevents voltage from backfeeding. I forget the name of it. So I'm drawing a brain fart. Anyhow, I'm sorry, guys. So put that on there with the new buck converter, sealed it shut with some hot glue, and mounted it in a different spot because I didn't like the original mounting location that we had put it on the first time. He's been driving it a little bit, and then now it won't run. It'll start, but it acts like it's getting like no throttle. I thought it was a carb problem, but I didn't think about the chain that's on it because it's stupid tight. I guess the chain was kind of seized up on it, which is causing too much drag on the motor, which is causing it to stall out. So he supposedly fixed it by straight chaining the device, which also in turn gives him more top end speed. Whatever, I don't care. My bigger problem that I have with it is he's what does this go to? Is he zip tie modded the governor on it, and I keep trying to tell him that's a bad idea because what he's going to end up doing is he's going to over rev the motor and he's going to break it because it's not designed to run at a higher RPM than what that governor was already set to. So in one ear and out the other, he thinks he knows it, so I warned him he's going to blow it up. I don't think he's changed the oil on it since he's bought it. I told him put an hour meter on it to keep an eye on the hours that he puts on the motor, so that way he can do oil changes regularly on it. But again, in one ear, out the other. What do I know? Which is, again, I'm fine with it. It's his device. He can do what he wants. Yeah, so got the and that's why I need a new toolbox. So who the fuck is out front? I keep going to the toolbox and keep forgetting to take that 1/4 inch breaker bar, basically. Oh, his buddy brought him home. Probably because the bike probably broke down because he rode the mini bike to work. Anywho, so yeah, that's that. So I've been pretty busy the last about 3 months. Used the CNC table last week. No, earlier this week. Did a project for the wife. That was fun. Made a little wood shelf. That was quite a fun little challenge. It wasn't like hard. It just something I wanted to make her for a while that I kept pushing off, and I told her I would do it, and finally just said, screw it, I got time. She's like, well, you need to get out in the garage and go do some stuff, because she knows I haven't had the chance to really get out here and do anything. So some of this stuff, like that's a circuit breaker for the solar panel projects. Like some of this stuff is unrelated to anything RC, but okay, let's try to figure this problem out. I wonder if they make a cap for this. Let's do some research. So this is a Weird. Audio died. And nobody said anything. Probably because nobody's watching. That'd be my bad. So yeah. Printer's doing its thing. I didn't level it. We're just going to see what happens. It's been sitting over here for a little bit. My bet is it doesn't work. So we're going to have to fight it. I'll be shocked if this works without giving me any issues at all. It's about up to temp. Thinking about selling this machine too. Just sits here more than anything. I have the bigger one behind it. I need to get rid of stuff. I need to clean the garage out. I keep procrastinating. I got motivated to doing it earlier this week and then gave up on it really fast. Just because what I wanted to do wasn't going to work due to my garage situation and space. Just, I couldn't make it happen. I'll be damned. Well, this is going to make me a liar. Whatever. It's working. Or at least, from what I see, is working. Yeah, looks like it's working just fine. Shocking. It's been just sitting over here collecting dust for probably a good month. I did run the nozzle on the bed pretty hard, actually, fighting it. One of the last times I used it, I don't remember if I did that live or not. I don't know how long this file was to print. I didn't remember. I didn't look at it. Cura says it is a 4-minute part. 3 minutes and 30 seconds to print. So it should be about done. Wow. It's about done. Actually, it looks really good. Huh. Who would have thought? Come off! Oh, it's gonna air. Maybe not. Yeah, actually came out really nice. The part did. First layer looks good. I mean, I just screwed up the trying to get it off, but whatever. It's just the cap. I don't care. So this is what I was talking about. I was tired of fighting not having this cap holding this battery in. So every time I'd pick up the caliber, it wouldn't. So now I don't have to sit here and fight it. Well, is this a bad battery? I don't know. It's just not enough. Let's try this. Could I throw a little bit of plastic underneath it? I need scissors. Scissors. I don't really know where they are. We'll use this. I want to add a little bit of plastic to the bottom. My bet is those tabs that I designed off of it that were on here probably kept this top from flexing just ever so slightly. So what we're going to do is super glue some of this plastic on it. We'll see what this does. That pick is what I need. All I'm trying to do is add a little bit of thickness to the center of this. Without making it too thick. that looks pretty good. So we're gonna let that sit for a second, harden up. And then we're going to try putting that on here. I don't know if this is the right battery. It could be the other problem. I'm going to put this in front of the air conditioner. Let the wind from the AC. So the air conditioner is a floor standing unit, and it vents out my garage door because I put a 6-inch vent on the front of the garage door. Drilled a hole. I did that years ago. One of the best things I've ever done to this garage. I want to make a paint booth type setup and vent out paint vent fumes and stuff out that at some point. I just not made it that far. I don't paint enough to really justify it, but it's kind of one of those like, hey, that's a good idea. I have it, why not do it type thing. Still looks wet. I'm just afraid if I put this on there, it's still tacky. Because if I put that on there and leave it, it's just going to glue itself to that battery. Screw on my super glue. This has actually been really good glue. Use this for all of my CNC router stuff. Actually has worked really well. So I'm gonna call that good enough. So now let's see if that little piece of plastic is enough. There we go. Fixed. So now I can zero it, move it, measure my stuff, and not worry about fighting that. So 0. Yep. Awesome. I use this too much, and I keep fighting this. I'm usually holding it and sliding it like this, like a little bit at a time, and then go back and do a little bit at a time. I didn't think about printing a door until recently, so this is the caliper that I use for my routing table. And that's actually my first calipers. I've had those for probably 7, 6, 7, 8, probably 7 or 8 years now. They've done a lot of work for me. So stupid ladybug, dead ladybug, but still. Well, that's one problem fixed. Now what? Yeah, I don't know. Probably, do I really want to print anything else? I don't have anything that I quote unquote have to print. Not that I can think of off the top of my head, so I guess I'll just shove that to the side for the time being. Yeah. Let me see what the kiddo grabbed. It's my doorbell. I don't want that. I want my front driveway camera. Come on. So it only registered. Oh, he forgot his wallet. So yeah, what else to do, guys? I mean, I can still keep cleaning. I can always clean, but I'm really not in the mood for it. Drawing a brain fart. I guess I could charge my tablet, because I usually use this for streaming, but I haven't charged it in a while. So let's throw it on a charger and see what happens. Weird. Is it not gonna do anything? Bueller? Bueller. That's what happens when I don't use anything. There it goes. Maybe. Yeah, there it goes. Maybe? Battery is too low. So the wife wanted a camera inside the chicken coop, so I went and got her one yesterday. Installed it today. Shit's been going off like crazy. So now I gotta tinker with these settings. Turn motion detection off. Checking out the signal on this new camera, make sure it's good. Looks fine. Yeah, looks fine. Tablet's struggling to do anything. I would assume it's power. It just needs charged. Or did it actually just turn on? No. Yeah, actually it did. Just turned on. I usually use it to operate and control my streaming software that's on the computer. Just basically it's functioned as a touch monitor basically for the PC is how I use it. So I can change between scenes and mute and stuff like that. Just click one button. It's really nice. It's really convenient. Actually, it functions really, really, really well. So I think it's an old way of doing it, but whatever. I enjoy it. It does what I need to do, and it was inexpensive. Basically, it's a Stream Deck without spending a lot of money on a Stream Deck, basically. So we'll let that charge on a whopping 1%. So I'll set that over here out of the way. Let it do its thing. That is a small US General toolbox that I put some of my smaller stuff in. My MIP wrenches and stuff on the top. Oh, there's the scissors I was looking for earlier that I forgot that I put in there. That's brand new. I've had it for like 2 weeks. I've just not used it yet, so that's something I need to start doing is getting used to having this. So, but that's what I want to get is a full-size version of that in green. Obviously, green is the color of choice for my garage. Trying to think if there's anything else I want to do. Let's bring the pull truck back over here. Take a look at it. Why is this front end in a bind now? Oh, it's because I was pushing down on the wrong part. Oh, it hits the steering servo, is what it's doing. Well, that's interesting. That's going to be a problem. That mount is hitting this mount that I designed is hitting the servo mount when you try to push down on the suspension straight down. So, back has no problem articulating at all. So, The $1,000,000 question is, what do I need to do next? Because I really need to still figure out an ESC placement, which is what I was doing with this mount. And I still need to figure out a front distribution block for weight. And I need to mount a hitch off this back end that's adjustable. I don't have any of these parts. I don't know what I'm looking for. So that's where I left off, apparently. Yeah. I just had to think about this for a second, so... Yep. I'm just sitting here looking at this, trying to figure out some ideas on what to do. So I apologize if I'm a little on the quiet side. What happened to my mount for my body? Did I break? I think I broke it. I think I gotta buy a new one. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. That's weird. Do need to fix the pinion angle on that. These top heim joints are short. Bottom ones are fine. I could probably fix that by moving these back to this hole, but I really don't want to move them off this center plate that I made. I feel like the strength is all in this center section. So if I move this too much, so for example, if I move this to the side, you'll see what I'm talking about. So if I take this and move it to the chassis hole, my question is how much of that change is going to mess with the geometry and the forward push that I'm trying to get this carbon fiber to take all the load and not the frame. Yeah, the factory frame itself. And I was just contemplating, do I want to redesign this so that this plate has an arm, a revision basically that has a set of holes this way for this top mount to mount to. Basically, like this set of holes, but run it this way. I don't know. I don't think it needs it. I'm being cheap at this point. I just need to buy longer arms, which I probably need to buy beefier Heim joint arms anyway for your 4-links. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is this air conditioner's struggling. It is on the struggle bus now, boys. I mean, it's also probably 95 degrees outside right now. Okay, I think I'm going to hop off here. I got a decent amount of stuff done on the workbench. I could have done a lot more. I'm procrastinating. I'm starting to get hot, but at least we fixed the calipers, so I'm happy with that. Other than that, I'm going to wrap this video up, guys. I appreciate you all hanging out, coming out and chatting along with me. And with that, I think we're going to wrap this video up. Thank you all for watching, and hopefully you all have a wonderful and fantastic day, and enjoy your weekend, and spend some time with your family and your loved ones. So, adios, guys.